Inviting me to the board meeting today. Today I would like to present the need for a benevolence ministry, and I appreciate that you took your time out to come and see this, to hear me speak. First I want to start, there's a problem in our community. In the past 5 years, unemployment and a lack of work have created a crisis in Scott County. And many families have been struggling financially. A lot have become homeless. Some are moving out of housing into housing with another family member, or sometimes 4 generations. And there's many causes for the problem, what's going on. There's loss of a mortgage, loss of a rental situation. There is medical expenses. Divorce rate has increased in Scott County. Drug use has risen. Mental illness has risen. Battered women's shelters are full. Homeless shelters are full. Another thing that we don't think about, Obamacare coming about. A lot of employees are taking 32 to 40-hour employees and bringing them down to 20 to 24 hours. So now they don't have the money to pay rent, to pay a mortgage, so they've gotten homeless but they're still working, but they're only working 20 hours a week. And then there's another factor, is used car prices gone up because of cash for junkers. A used car now has gone up $1,000 at least per car, which means something that used to be $500 is now costing somebody $1,500. So some people can't even buy a car because they don't have the funds to buy a car, and which means then they can't get to work and they lose their job. Then another big, huge thing that's been happening is a high rate of suicide with our veterans, which are leaving single-parent family homes in a financial crisis. We have local agencies are constantly running out of funds. The CAP agency in Scott County, 70% of the people come in the door, they have to say no to them because they don't fit criteria or they don't have funds for them in their criteria they fit into. Over 30 families are living out on the river in tents. Over 30 families. 94 families on a given day are homeless that we know of. And we think that's only a small amount of the actual problem. It might be many times than 94. And then the other thing is that this homelessness is not going to go away. The problem that we have in the inner city now has come to outer suburbia. The solution. I would like to have Friendship Church partner up with the community organizations to assist those in need with a focus to present Christ to those who come through our door. A care ministry mission would be to extend God's love and grace to hurting people through personal one-on-one support, group support, prayer, and financial assistance. Then benevolence ministry mission would be to bless those that are in need as an act of kindness and generosity. Benevolence gives the church body a chance to say that the body of Christ really cares for others, their own members, those who attend, and those out in the community. It is a chance for us to speak the gospel into their life, and at the same meet some of their basic needs. It's not meant to merely be a quick fix, but to assist others to help them do better in their life. Not meant to merely address felt needs, by getting beyond the core issues. Not merely provide resources, but fulfill the Great Commission. Not merely doing it out of duty, but loving those being helpful. Proverbs 14:31 says this, whoever oppresses the poor shows contempt for their maker, but whoever is kind to the needy honors God. Benevolence funding, how we're going to do that. Once a month, we're going to take a special offering at the end of communion. Before people walk out the door, we'll have ushers to take a second offering up, and that will be our benevolence offering. So it won't take away from the regular offering, but it will be a second offering. Benevolence and how it works. Benevolence fund is intended as a source of temporary, short-term help in a time of crisis. It will help people. It'll help people through financial, family, spiritual, and emotional counseling. It's never meant to be a consider a loan. It is a gift. They don't have to repay it by labor or anything, do anything special for us. They must be willing to give permission to follow up on information shared by authorization form. So we'll have them fill out stuff and give us authorization to talk to others if we need to help them out further. The priority for these receiving assistance, church members first, then regular attenders, then members of the community, and then we can take on others who might call us up. Let's say Salvation Army might call our pastor up and say, could you come beside us and help somebody pay the rent? We'll work on that if at all possible. The stated purpose of Benevolence Fund is to meet people's basic needs, such as lodging, food, clothing, utilities, transportation for employment, for medical visits, funeral expenses, and then sometimes evaluate to see if they need further counseling by another professional and maybe help pay for the first couple visits. Needs that may not be met by Benevolence Fund: school expenses, business investments, paying off credit cards unless that person needs that credit card to pay off so that they can purchase a ticket to go see a mother that passed away or something like that. So they need money for a plane ticket. Needs regard to anyone paying for a fine as a result of breaking a law. We won't pay for that, or legal fees. Penalties relating to late payments or irresponsible actions. Benevolence has also assisted with acts of friendship, Second Harvest, and scholarships for Alpha Camp and other things like that. So we can use Benevolence to help some child get to camp. And then limits and process for providing benevolence. Needing an application for assistance filled out. Determine the amount needed, okay? If over $500, we'll give the pastor up to $500 to okay. After that, we'll get a board approval for anything over $500. I want you to realize that benevolence really works. A few months ago, somebody came in my office. I helped them out with just a gas card. And with that gas card, I listened to their needs. I asked some spiritual questions. I was able to lead this person to the Lord. And guess what happens? That person brought her husband. He came to Christ. Her children, her two oldest children, came to Christ. The 4 got baptized. They joined our church, and now they're ministering in our church. That's what benevolence can do. And I just really appreciate it if you would consider this ministry. Thank you for listening to me and considering benevolence.